Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Matt from Diazable with another album review. And this is a little bit of an oldie slash odd pick, but I've always wanted to check out actually like this full album and whatnot. And it is Mark Morrison, Return of the Mack. Now, Return of the Mack, I'm pretty sure you guys know what that song is. You've heard it a million times. Yeah, it's that big single from like the 90s, that big hit. I think it was like 96-ish. But yeah, this is an R&B album from British singer Mark Morrison. I'm gonna go and dissect each song and tell you how I feel and the overall feel of this album from more than I think 25 years ago. Boop, 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 boop. Let's get into it. Track one, we have here Home Interlude, number one. It opens with a soft like piano and like a cool, I won't say R&B's with jazz feeling, but it's just like a very soft opening track with some distant ladies singing in the background. Overall, it's an interlude. It's setting up the album. It's all right. It's a vibe. Track two, we have here Crazy. It starts off with like a Rasta intro with like some tight hi-hats and drum beats. Kind of interesting. Wasn't what I was expecting. His vocals. Is he like yardling in the song or something? I don't know. Like his voice was very weird and jarring for me on this track. Funky synth keyboards in the background. The production and the instruments sound great on this track. His vocals sound a little bit try-hardy and kind of lazy. This lyric, I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. Keeping street. Like his lyrics kind of make like no sense kind of on this track. There's a Rasta breakdown in the middle of the song. I said this before. I noticed it when I was listening to it. Prerogative seems like the most 90s lyric of all time. This track is a little bit all over the place. Like, I'm going a little crazy with just listening to this track. Track three, we have Let's Get Down. The bass is very thick on this track and very mesmerizing. I like it a lot. You can hear it very fully. The song overall sounds tighter compared to the previous track. His vocals sound less awkward here, which is nice. It's a more slowed down, relaxed song. The verse and chorus seem like a very simple song structure, and I like it. It's good. Lady Juice, the feature on this track, she sounds tight. Like at the time she was here to make a name for herself. She was really good. She was in the pocket on this one. Mix could be turned up a bit. It sounds a little like I can't hear it very well, and they talk about pagers. One. Track four, Get High With Me. The intro is a little bit of a mess. But as it goes along, the shaking sound of there's like a shaking sound in the song with what the fuck am I talking about? Three, two, one. Track four, Get High With Me. The intro of the song is not that great, but overall, as the song goes along, the bass and the vocals really go well together. His vocals sound good on this track. The lyrics a bit lackluster. It's kind of a whatever track. I don't have much to say about it. Track five, Moan and Groan. Overall, I can't hear the backing vocals on this track. Mark sounds really mic'd up on this track, but granted, this is a long time ago, so maybe the production was different. Can't hear the instruments. His vocals sound really undeveloped on this track. Like he doesn't know what he's doing, kind of. Oh my gosh, this lyric, dry me up with some foreplay. Oh yeah, that's nice. The beat is a simple beat. The lyrics are just really, really cheesy. Like no shade towards Mr. Morrison or the people on this production at the time and everything and what they did. They created a nice piece of art for themselves, but the lyrics are a bit cheesy. There's this line, does he know how? Oh, I was gonna say no. Like the way he's talking, it makes it seem like does he know how to have sex? So yeah, and the track kind of drags. Sorry. Track six. We're here to the cream of the crop, the best of the best. Return of the Mack. That's why we know it. It's an amazing song. After listening to the first tracks and this one, it feels like the budget for this song was like immense because beforehand the production and the vocal, just production value alone, it was very shoddy. But this one, it literally just sounds so crisp, this track. That's why I think it's been in rotation for years because it sounds amazing. It sounds full and complete. His vocals are all the way in, and like his vocal performance is on point here. Like he's just in the zone. Uh, I see why it's stand the test of time because compared to the first couple tracks in this, it's like next level. The lyrics feel fully fleshed out and nice. The chorus is hella catchy. We all know it. The bass line needs more praise because I never realized how much the bass line is sounding so good on this track. It sounds fantastic. Return of the Mack, classic for a reason. Track 7, we have I Like. It's starting off with like an industrial beat that moves into like a 90s dance number. The backing vocals are really nice. And then when the song kind of kicks in, you're like, oh, what's going on? Like I was after the past couple tracks, you weren't expecting it, and it's just it turns into a great dance number. And as the track goes along, Mark's not featured on this song at all, and I'm guessing it's some kind of mid-song interlude, but it's a banger. I like it a lot. Sorry to say that Mr. Morrison wasn't on this, but it was really good to listen to. So yeah. Here's a little sample of the song that I just listened to, that I just talked about. It's really good. So, yeah, so that's the song that I was surprised by. Yeah. Track 8, Trippin. The song starts off with some soft guitars and backing beats. His vocals sound really deep and like emotional on this track. As the song goes along, the beat isn't that all that great. Sounds a little blown out or something. Like it just sounds like the speakers are messed up. The pacing is really nice in the song. Backing vocalists, very good against the odd beat. They sound great. It's a very like slow down 90s jam. It's a good calm song after that like high energy track of an interlude we had. It's a bit long though. Track 9, we have Tears for You. This is a nice like soft R&B sound. Like I guess I was talking about with my friend the other day. Was it Afrobeat? Dang it. What was it? What were we saying? Oh, was it Afrobeats that I mentioned? Or the Yeah. Okay. I think that's what I was trying to say when I was writing this review. 3, 2, 1. Track 9, we have Tears for You. This is a soft R&B track. Like the drums and everything gives off to me very like Afrobeat styles. It's a bit washed out, but it sounds pretty good. Also, I don't know, at the time I was listening to it, it gave me Roots vibes, like sounds like the Roots. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Soft, dreamy vocals here, very buttery, very nice. No, it doesn't sound like there's anything added to his vocals, like they sound very natural on here. It's a really good song. I think he really does well when he pulls back his performance and does like softer songs than those. Like Return of the Mack is great and all, but like I think he might have like had a better like trajectory if he did more soft ballads and more relaxed songs. The feature on here really complements his voice as well. So it's a good song. Tears for You. Tears for You. Track 10, we have here Horny. The production on this sounds good on this overall, the production sounds really good. Mark's voice sounds not so bad, but Jesus, that chorus. I don't know why at the time it sounds like a kid bop song, like a kid made song, but they're screaming out the word, get horny, get horny. Like, woo! The lyrics alone can't like the production, his vocal performance, that's all pretty good, but the lyrics really tank this song a bit, I think. He even like says roses are red and violets are blue. Like the lyrics, the song is what you would expect to be by being called horny. So sorry to this man. Horny. Just enjoy my nasty ride. Horny. Track 11, we have I Really Love You. And I think it's hilarious. We're going from being like a dog on the last track to being like a gentleman with I Really Love You. Based on this track, it sounds really good. He sounds like he's singing in a hole. Like he sounds like so far away and trapped in a hole. The sound effects putting on this track are not that great. They're yeah. I can't hear it. Yeah, what else? The backing vocals again sound fine. They're harmonized very well. And like when he starts saying I really love you, like his vocals sound really weird. Again, another cheesy track with the instruments and the production aren't too bad. Next, we have track 12, Crazy D influence mix. The keys and the bass on the drum sound well balanced on here compared to the original mix. He sounds really good. Like they pulled back his voice and like tuned it down a little bit, but it sounds really good. He's not doing like a weird voice. Uh, the Rasta guy at first was kind of fun, but they keep bringing him back in, and I don't like that as much. When he was brought in the original one time, that was fine, but they bring him in multiple times, and it kind of wears out a little bit on me. Overall, like he brings the track down. This version of Crazy is better. I think the production sounds better, but with more introduction of the Rasta sounding guy, it kind of ruins it for me a little bit. Last track, we have Home Part 2 Interlude. Simple key play out. The instruments sound great. Again, they sound really nice and tight. The backing female vocalist at the beginning of the Home Interlude 1 and in this one, they just sound perfect. And it's a good way to end the album. Like a nice little ribbon on the whole package of Return of the Mack. Now, that was my review of Mark Morrison, Return of the Mack. Uh, Sadly, going back thinking about this album and everything, maybe at the time it was a better album, but it is not very much of a return. I don't know. Nah, I don't like that intro. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And that was my review of Return of the Mack by Mark Morrison. And now I fully understand why I only know Return of the Mack. That song alone, like I talked about it, budget amazing. Overall, the album, the production is consistently okay, but that's the thing, it's just okay most of the time. There's nothing consistently great except for Return of the Mack, but like everything's a little bit hit or miss. His lyrics, very, very, very cheesy at times. So it brings back some of the album, brings it down a little bit here and there. His vocal, like his performances, what he's trying to do with his vocals here and there. Maybe he's just trying to experiment, have some fun at the time, but they just don't age really well, or slash they don't. I don't know if they didn't sound good from the get jump off, maybe personally. But also he created art. He's still creating art, hopefully, and no shade to the man for making his art. It just wasn't that great, I think. His features, though, the features on the album, the backing vocalists, they sound great. Consistently, the bass production on this album sounds really good. The volume sound really great on it. Unfortunately, the overall package of this album, I would say it's not that great. Could have been done a lot better, but it was a lot of fun. I can imagine making and stuff. Had a great time doing it. I want to say this album with Return of the Mack is such a good song, but then there's so much of it that's very mid and very like barely all right. So I want to say this album is a strong 5. Yeah, I can live with that. 5 out of 10. Just Return of the Mack really gives it a lot of staying power, but without Return of the Mack, I can only imagine how this album could have been. But yeah, 5. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you've never listened to this full album, Mark Morrison, give it a try, because you know the song Return of the Mack, but you don't know the other stuff. So you should definitely at least give it a try. Listen to it. I'll link the album on YouTube and Spotify in my description. And check out your boy, Matt from Diazable. Next time, yee.